Hi, everybody. I'm Maggie Yu, MD, and welcome to Transform. I'm a functional and a holistic medicine MD, and our program is Transform Autoimmune Disease Naturally. With me today, we have the pleasure of interviewing Antonita and her husband, Kian. Antonita has been diagnosed with Sjogren's and had a slew of other symptoms that even preceded quite a bit before her diagnoses. And today, we're here to actually see a successful case study of a couple who did something extraordinary to turn around her Sjogren's and her severe symptoms naturally. So here is Antonita and here's Kian.
Hello, my name is Kian Smith. I'm from Washington, D.C., IT professional, so I like figuring things out. And Antonita Smith is my wife.
I'm Antonita, Kian's my husband, and I too work in IT, but I'm a trainer. I'm on that side, so I'm normally in front of folks and talking to people.
So what I would love to do is ask you, Antonita and Kian, first of all, when did this journey you joined our program 6 months ago. Where were you 6 months ago before you joined our program?
I was in the middle of the worst flare of my life that I'd had. I was nauseous and vomiting. I couldn't eat anything. I had really bad brain fog, joint pain, fatigue. It was just really, really excruciating. Like just not being able to do anything.
Lymph nodes swollen.
Yeah. Lymph nodes were swollen. Mm-hmm. Doctors were threatening me with surgery.
Yeah. That's true.
It was bad. Like it was awful. My joints, like they would just throb, not even a throbbing, just a stabbing kind of pain. It was really bad. And then the vertigo and the nausea, and all that, it was really bad. The pain, it was about a 10, I would say a 9, 10.
And then the food, what was this whole nausea? Were you able to eat food?
I couldn't eat anything.
Yeah.
I couldn't eat anything. I couldn't hold anything down. But I remember the meal before I got sick. That's how bad it was. Because I remember eating, we had like a Beyond Burger or something like that. Because you get grilled.
Right.
And I remember, I don't know how I can remember that, but I remember that meal because maybe a couple hours later, I couldn't eat. And I didn't eat for like a week or...
Right.
It was a weekend something. I wasn't able to eat anything. I could drink a little bit, but at first I could drink nothing.
Right. Yeah.
And so my question is, this is really common, and this is a really good lesson for a lot of people dealing with autoimmunity. I want to find out how many years or decades some of these symptoms precede her diagnosis, and how did you guys finally figure out that this was the diagnosis?
So the time frame prior to her diagnosis was approximately like 2 years prior. And she was having flares. We didn't know what they were. It was just every now and then, maybe twice a year. And it would typically happen on her birthday because I would try to take her out of town, do something special. And all we do is stay in a hotel room under the covers, everything sick. And she was experiencing the same thing.
Under the covers.
Right. Yeah, it wasn't sexy at all. So she was in pain, fatigue, everything. And I remember seeing doctors while we were out of town, everything.
Yeah, because I would get like fevers.
Yeah.
I would just get these really odd fevers and I would break out in a cold sweat. It was crazy.
Well, then 2 years of this craziness, did they figure out what was wrong? Did any of the doctors that you saw figure out even what was wrong? Did any doctors recognize that these were even possible early signs of autoimmunity?
No, no doctors pointed that out at all. Like she said, they wanted to do surgery. They wanted to take out a lymph node, and they were looking at what was it, your liver or something like that?
Spleen.
Your spleen. That's what it was.
It had cancer, probably.
Yes,
right, exactly.
That's
right.
So I went to the oncologist, the hematology oncologist. Yes. They were drawing blood. I'm sitting there, and I'm like, "This is not where I'm supposed to be." So the rheumatologist was telling me I had to do a medication, Plaquenil, to, I think it's like an anti-malarial kind of drug.
Yeah.
And so he was like, you're just gonna have to do this for the rest of your life.
Right.
And I was like, I really don't want to do medication because I tend to get a side effect. I did. I broke out in hives. My skin was burning.
What was the only next option?
There was no other option. As a matter of fact, the doctor
just quit it. I just quit it.
Right. At the time when she got it, and different doctors, it was like, oh, it's just Sjogren's,
Right.
not a big deal. It only affects this, but they
Not a
didn't.
big deal. You went to all these doctors, you got Plaquenil, you got reactions to it, and on top of it, it didn't even work. And realizing that the only option was medication, you decided you're gonna find somebody else and you're gonna go out of the box. And you found me in our program.
Yes.
So my question is, what possessed you to go outside the box, go rogue, and join an online program with me?
I found your program, found it on Facebook. And what caught my attention was, of course, you said, feel better from your autoimmunity in a couple of months and do it naturally. And so that kind of got us because we wanted to get away from the medications and, do things naturally. But I think what set us up, the writing on the wall was the fact that you also experience this autoimmunity thing, and the people that work with you experienced it too. And that's when I told my wife, I said, I really think we should do this.
Where are you now with what are your results? Where are you now?
So my pain level has diminished substantially. I don't really have a lot of pain. The only time I will say that I experience any pain is if I cheat.
Cause.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I know what's doing it to me. Right. So when, if I feel something like, or before I even eat it or try it, I'm like, I'm going to have to pay for this one because I know what different food intolerances I have. I know, which things kind of cause what, like for me, sugar is a big pain.
Now you know.
Yeah, it just brings on pain. Like I can't have a lot of sugar because it starts with my elbow, then it goes to my knee, then I'm just,
Well, wait a minute. Before we're going to cause and effect, first of all, pain level you said was a 10 out of 10. What level is it now? Give me a number now.
Like a 2.
Okay, 2. What about food and stomach problems?
Oh, I don't really have those.
Nope.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Done.
Right.
Brain fog. Where the heck are you with brain fog? Because you were almost dysfunctional with the brain fog when we met.
Right.
Where's the brain fog now, girlfriend?
Maybe a 2. Maybe.
Yeah.
How important would you say is the role of community in your autoimmune turnaround and continued improvement?
It plays a big part. I know in the beginning, I called them my pod mates. I really enjoyed talking to them, bouncing ideas off of them when one of us would be going through something new or different. It was just good to have support because it's so hard to get that outside of the program. Because a lot of people don't, even if they had the symptoms, they don't know how to talk about them. They don't know what's causing them. And so with the pod mates, it was easier to talk about those things, easier to bounce ideas, easier to, even if you didn't feel well, you thought something wasn't going well, just to kind of figure those things out together really helped kind of glue us a little stronger in our thinking, in the way that the program runs.
Right.
What I'm hearing is it was more personalized, more supportive, and you actually learned more and faster.
Yes.
What's something that you do now effortlessly, almost take it for granted, that 6 months ago you thought was impossible?
So 6 months ago, I was not able to just bounce out of bed in the morning. Like, it took me a long time to get from lying down to sitting up to going to the shower, to start my day. And now I just get up like there's no struggle. Like I don't feel tired when I get up. I just bounce up. And it's like the oddest thing. And I know it sounds silly, but it's just weird because I remember when I couldn't do that.
Well,
Like I couldn't do that.
Giddy. You're joyous and giddy right now, just even talking about being able to bounce out of bed. Really?
Next Saturday, I'm going to be speaking at a women's conference about my journey. And so I didn't know that I would be doing anything like that, you know, to tell somebody else, okay, this is what happened to me and that I'm okay.
Right.
Because a lot of people don't really have that testimony.
Right.
So that's one thing that, you know, I learned that, okay, I can do something like that.
Congratulations for both of you. I mean, for Kian for you know, finding us and for, you know, supporting her and pushing her into doing this program and believing in her. And Antonita, you are a leader and you are an inspiration. I mean, and thank you for being on this interview. I know that you're a shy person and a private person, so I really appreciate this. And the thing that brings me the most joy is that you're living your life with joy, with curiosity, with fun, with mischievousness.
Yes. Yes.
Congratulations, you two.
Thank you.
Ready to learn more about our program, you can go to drmaggieyu.com. You can also join our Facebook group where you can see we're over 60, 70 interviews now of real life case studies, just like Antonita and Kian's. Our Facebook group is Transform Autoimmune Disease Naturally. Go ahead and join the group and join our community. Have a great day, everybody.
Lupus, lung fibrosis,
Hashimoto's thyroiditis,
fibromyalgia, AS, which is a form of arthritis,
Epstein-Barr, extremely fatigued.
pretty much zero joint pain.
Much more happy.
I don't have brain fog anymore. How much weight I have lost.
I want to see remission.
Maggie and her approach is very different than the traditional doctor.
I'm a totally different person.
I got a better understanding of what those intolerances were.
You're not alone.
The community is, I'm learning from everyone else's issues.
It's not just helped me, it's helped my entire family.
We are transformed.
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 Join the movement and transform your autoimmune naturally today.